Hi, this is Candace Sarney with artofplacement.com. I'm here again with Joel Bruce Wallach, the inventor of Powerforms. How are you today, Joel?
Greetings, Candace.
You know, Joel, I get a lot of questions from people who've been watching the videos. And whenever we talk about a subject, everyone sees you look in front of you and you're kind of going like, which one do I want? You know, who am I going to work with today?
Yeah.
And so can you talk a bit about that? Because everybody wants to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. How are you picking the power form for this topic?
The process of tuning in, Candace, is something where the inner self, this is not the logical mind, not that there's anything wrong with logic, but the inner self, very much like a pendulum, very much like if you've ever found water with one of those
divining rods, yeah,
or those tuning rod things. You're not controlling the process, nor is anybody else. It's nature itself has its own intelligence. And you could do this, for example, with food or a vitamin. Put it against your solar plexus and say, hey, body, do you feel that you're drawing this closer to you, or do you feel that you're pushing it away? So it's that process. So right now, we have a bunch of discs. And so if you, Candace, ask the question, okay, we're going to tune into what to do if you feel sluggish. You know, we have to have something to tune into, otherwise we're just looking at discs and saying, aren't they pretty? But
exactly.
But if you said, what if you felt kind of slow and sluggish? So, okay, what's the process, though? This is the question. As I look, it's as if something is magnetized to something.
So you're going like this. Is that like with your eyes, or you maybe your solar plexus, or could it be different for everyone? Or
everybody's unique. Everybody senses in their own way. But in general, we are living tuning forks. We are like those metallic rods that can revolve and find water.
That's kind of like when you're out in the world and you may bump into somebody or you get introduced to some friends and you just, for whatever reason, resonate with them.
You do.
So it's kind of like the same thing then.
Very much. It's something of like being attracted to like. In this case, the likeness or the sameness is we're looking for something that would somehow correct or release sluggishness, and so we're tuning into that. Aha. So
now what is that? What are you showing me?
This is the element of fire.
Okay.
And so you might say, well, that would be logical, of course, because fire is fiery and it can burn away sluggishness, and sluggishness is almost like, you can think of sluggishness as stagnant earth element. Like
okay.
Earth element that's gone bad. It's gone rogue. So, but no judgment to earth element. It does what it does when we need it. But right now, this shows up. What else could have shown up? Ooh, you could have shown up. So,
who's you?
You, the portal.
Okay.
The portal has a different way of releasing sluggishness. What the portal does is make you much more aware of higher cosmic frequencies. You could say it makes you aware of higher octaves rather than lower ones. But the first thing that showed up was this fiery element. So there are all these techniques that are available, and your logical mind will say, ooh, what do I do? So I'll just ask the subconscious, okay, we have this fiery element, what do we want to do? And it seems, as I talk to it, to want to jump down to my navel, which is probably off the camera.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just going to hold it here, and that is interesting. It makes the world around me seem in a subtle way to be more animated. So it's taking me out of that, like, sluggishy vibe, and it's making everything feel more alive. Now, note, when we talk about I feel this or I feel that, we're presupposing that you understand that this is subtle energy. In other words, this is not cocaine, this is not something that's intense, this is not dynamite. And in fact, the more you get into healing and subtle awareness, the less you want that kind of intensity, because then it picks you up and drops you. So you want something that you can work with.
As you say that, I picture somebody who's had a heart attack and they go, boom, with the...
Yeah. You don't need to be woken up like that, because anything that intense will have weird side effects and weird problems, and we don't need that. So then I put my fingertips. I'm not even thinking about exactly where. I'm just placing my fingertips anywhere on here. That feels interesting. I can definitely feel it bring the energy back in the body. It's different than on the belly button feeling.
So before, when you've talked about holding your hands on either side of a disc, you talk about how like energy comes in and goes around and comes through the disc, and the disc kind of charges it or cleans filters it, and then it brings it back through the body.
It doesn't turn it into anything else. Okay. So when each individual does this, their energy is getting filtered so that their filtered and balanced energy will flow back. It goes in both directions. It'll go back into their body. So it's giving you a more ideal expression of your individual energy. And in this case, at this point, I've been holding it for a while, it's starting to feel calmer and smoother, but not sluggish. It's a very mild, perky feeling that feels more clear and quite nice, actually.
Well, Joel, this is really amazing. And you touched on something that I want to cover in another subject, and that is about, if these discs are like filters, how do you clean them? So let's talk about that in another session.
Cleaning video, yeah.
I want to thank you, Joel, for coming and sharing with us again. This is Candace Arney with artofplacement.com. If you want to get your own Powerforms, click on the link. It'll take you to the page where you can get one just for yourself. Have a great day.
Many blessings.
Bye-bye.